This video is going to look at an alternative aggregate demand and aggregate supply model to the one that is shown here. The new model we were going to look at will more closely reflect a typical supply and demand model, because instead of measuring expenditure on the vertical axis, we're going to be measuring price. As it is a total economy that we are looking at, there can't be a single price level for all products. So instead of looking at price as a dollar value, we're looking at a general price level, which could increase or decrease. On the horizontal axis, we're still looking at total quantity of products sold, which we could think of as output or gross domestic product. Here we're going to call it national income. At low rates of national income, businesses are willing to increase the amount that they supply, the aggregate supply, without increasing their price level. And this leads to this line moving across here like this. At a certain level, however, businesses just cannot produce anymore. They're using all of the resources available to them, and they cannot find any more. When this occurs, if there's an increase in aggregate demand, what businesses will do is increase their prices. So output isn't increasing here, but we can see that the price level is increasing for this section of the aggregate supply curve. And we'll say that this occurs at NY1, which we could think of as the full employment level in the economy, where all resources are being employed. In reality, we wouldn't just go from one state to the other. There would be an in-between phase where businesses start competing for available resources, workers begin to see that they're in demand, and they'll ask for higher wages. The costs will go up for businesses, and this will lead to prices going up. And so what will happen is we'll start to get a curve in between these two sections. So this is what our final aggregate supply curve will look like. The Keynesian view of economics was that any kind of government intervention to increase aggregate demand by increasing the level of government spending would lead to an increase in output and lead to economic growth and reduced unemployment. The classical view of economics was that any kind of intervention by the government doesn't have any impact. All it does is throws the market out and leads to an increase in prices. We can see in this curve that both are true at different points of economic activity. At very low levels of national income, any increase in aggregate demand does lead to an increase in national income without increasing the price level. And that can be seen across this part of the diagram. The classical view that output wouldn't increase with government intervention, that prices would just go up, is true as we approach the full employment level of national income across this part. And most economies are going to be operating in the intermediate stage, in the curved part of the line. There will be other videos that show the interaction of aggregate supply and aggregate demand in this model, and how we arrive at a national income equilibrium level.